to contend with at Tannadice when Brian O'Neill was sent off and Gary McSwiggan equalised Pierre Van Hooydonk's opener. But Malcolm Mackay's injury time winner stretched Celtic's unbeaten league run to 36 games.
And here comes Hurst. He's got some people on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.
Hello and welcome to the new series of They Think It's All Over. We've got some great new games, some fantastic new guests, but sadly, the same four old regulars. Lee Hurst and David Gower, Rory McGrath and Gary Lineker. With Gary and Rory tonight is a Scots comedian who used to disappoint millions every week on the National Lottery programme. He used to turn up. Gordon Kennedy. And with David and Lee, one of the Premiership's top goalkeepers, and a man whose sense of humour is only topped by that of his hairdresser. Spurs and England's Ian Walker. Round one is all about goal celebrations. We show the teams a clip of some post-goal festivities, and all they have to do is tell us why the players chose to celebrate in that particular way. Gary, Rory and Gordon, your clip is from Euro 96, England v Scotland, and that goal from the boy Gascoigne.
Here's Gascoigne. Oh, brilliant! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Goal by Gascoigne. What a pertinent answer to all his critics.
I've never seen that goal before, actually. I was far too busy kicking in the television at that point. Gary McCarthy!
Are you sure you weren't trying to kick the television and just missed it? Like...
Funnily enough, just before I kicked the television, it just moved
a little bit, yeah.
It did.
The truth is, Walks will back me up, that is actually the only way you can get a non-alcoholic drink down Gaz's throat. Well, I think we all know this. It's the old dentist's chair from the nightclub in Hong Kong where they were... Ian was there, I'll tell you. It was a nightclub. Players were in the dentist's chair, as they called it in this nightclub, apparently, and the alcohol was tipped down the throats, and then they got lots of grief for it, so they thought they'd respond on the pitch and show we can win despite it all.
It's completely wrong.
Yeah, but were you...
Okay, well, if that's completely wrong, Ian, let's ask your club and country teammate, Teddy Sheringham, if it is the correct answer.
We'd had a lot of stick in the press, and it was all about being in the dentist chair on a wild night out, and we thought it was very unjust, and that was our way of answering it, really, after a great goal from Gaza.
So, Ian, people in the team don't really speak to you very much then?
And what you didn't see there is when you get in the chair, there's this little TV screen there, and to put you to sleep, they show all these Arsenal videos.
Which Rory had a great start to the season, eh? Only letting 4 goals and one of them wasn't your fault, Ian.
Well, Gary's team definitely get 3 points for that. There were unconfirmed rumours, by the way, of an incident outside the Hong Kong nightclub when Dennis Wise allegedly punched a rickshaw driver. David, Lee and Ian, more glamour for you. It's the Auto Windscreen Shield Southern Section quarter-final, which of course you'll remember, from this January, Peterborough versus Colchester. Please explain this for us.
Certainly been an evenly balanced tie as there's confusion in the Colchester defence and Gary Martindale takes full advantage. They're back in
it. Is that the cue for the dentist chair?
He doesn't know anything about queuing, he went to public school. They don't queue, they just go straight to the front, don't you?
Well, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah. Is that from public school background?
Well, it's just quicker.
Oh.
Talking of quicker, will you answer the question?
Are they trying to double the crowd? Because there weren't so many people there.
I think that's certainly fair, yeah.
Talking of which, where did they get the crowd noise from? Because that shouting when the goal was scored, we didn't see a crowd anywhere.
Well,
that was the noise from the A1.
Is it that old tactic? They were playing with 17 players on the pitch, and when they score, 6 of them sneak off before the referee. What it is, in Peterborough, right, if you know this, the reason there was nobody there, it's for safety reasons, right? The ground, the football ground is subsiding, right? And it's going to one side, so every so often they have to run and counter it. So they all sit down and it just eases off a bit here and it's known as the Peterborough effect.
I'm going to hand it across then.
Maybe the manager makes them watch lots of videos of their goals to try and learn something for the next game.
But not immediately after they've scored them. Let's hear Peterborough's hunky Scott McLeish explain that behaviour.
Well, the chairs were put in the newsstand in the week, and the boys said whoever scores, they just want to be the first ones to sit in them and christen them. So a few of us sat in the stand.
Yeah, auto windscreens actually have a long association with football. Apparently Tony Adams has been keeping them in business for years. So the scores at the end of round 1 are David's team with 0 and Gary's team with 3. Round 2 is a new round called the Injury Board. Each team will pick a number from the board which will reveal a sports personality and an object. What we want to know is, how did that object injure the person shown in such a way that they were unable to compete? These are all genuine injuries, OK? Now, David's team, if you'd like to pick a number. Between 1 and 12, please.
Imagine it's one of your test scores.
So perhaps just the top row. 4. Number 4, OK, let's have a look. Number 4. England's test anti-hero Chris Lewis and a razor. How did one prevent the other one playing for England? It's the razor preventing Chris Lewis from...
Is it that Chris Lewis, he'd heard this thing about swimmers, that they shave all their body hair off to go faster. So he was doing likewise so he could run quicker on the pitch, and he slipped and sliced his silly mid off.
No.
And then he spent all day hoping they'd bowl him some googlies. No? You're allowed to catch the ball with your feet.
You can. Well, you're allowed to.
You're allowed to. Is that why you're always dropping it with your hands?
Nothing to do with his, this puncture he had on the way to the Oval when he was dropped from the England squad a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, where he told them that he had a puncture on the way to the Oval.
Yeah.
And they said, well, why didn't you call us on the mobile phone? And apparently he called him on this blue thing here. He thought it was the mobile phone. All they could hear at the other end was a sort of zzz.
That's an interesting idea, but how did he get through if he was using a shame?
The last time England were joining the West Indies,
yeah.
Chris Lewis, you can't tell it from the photograph, very cleverly put there, because he shaved his head at the start of the tour in Antigua and then failed to put that hat on. So that he was unavailable for the first game through sunstroke.
Absolutely correct. Yes, during England's 1994 tour of the West Indies, English cricket's Mr. Reliable decided that in order to look hard, it would be a good idea to shave his head and spend a day in the Caribbean sun, and then get sunstroke and have to go for a bit of a lie down. I bet they were really shaking in their shoes after that one. You've got a point, though. Bald black men are very frightening. Surely you all remember Hot Chocolate. Chris Lewis, of course, famously posed naked for a women's magazine. What sort of publicity-seeking egomaniac would do a thing like that? Which magazine was it? We heard Hare and Hound.
Did you pose naked?
Apparently so.
Apparently so. Did they trick you? What magazine was it?
4 Women.
4 Women?
4 Women.
Everyone has to start somewhere.
Just say.
I thought that was a magazine for blokes. I thought that was 4 Women.
You're obviously not too keen to talk about this.
No. We get on with it.
So, where was the studio where it was filmed?
It's around a girlfriend's house.
Oh, what? It was girlfriends, boyfriends then, like Reader's Wives. It was one of those things.
But you didn't wear your big goalkeeping gloves, did you? You don't want that disparity looking up on the photograph.
I think, to be fair, we should move on now. So, was it more than one picture? Okay, Gary's team, please pick a number.
Number 3.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that's spendthrift Newcastle manager Kevin Keegan and a bath. The ducks are incidental.
It was in the bath, and did Kevin get a rubber duck stuck on the end of his helmet? Is that Kevin doing his impression of Lee, by the way?
Was he disturbed by a floater? Could have been a team bath. That's happened to me.
Gary, is that the official ending?
This is true.
You were in the bar?
I was in the bar after a
And
game.
Kevin Keegan's floater.
I never played.
Go on.
When I played for Leicester,
Yeah.
it was in the big communal bath after the games that they used to have. It's showers now, you know.
After
So
this
lying
incident,
there, you've never seen a bath empty so quick. They just floated across the top.
Lineker in bath with floater. Gary admits.
I'm glad I brought that up.
Oh, was you though?
Is it back in the World Cup of '84, Spain?
There wasn't a World Cup in '84. 1982.
82, that
no
one.
wonder you didn't get
82.
picked. You wouldn't have turned up in the right year.
That was in the World Cup of '82.
Yeah, actually, that's it. They told you it was '84, didn't they? So, yeah, go to Spain. It'll be all organised. Yeah, go on.
And he slipped in the bath and he did his back in and he missed most of the games and came on and missed a sitter in the last one.
No, you got the wrong injury. David's team?
Well,
Lee knows.
Yeah, I think I know the answer here, and I'm surprised that Gary didn't get it because it's his specialist subject.
Go on, toe.
He got his toe caught in the bathtub.
Koto.
His koto, yeah. He's when he was playing in Japan.
In Kyoto.
In Kyoto, Toto.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you 1 point as a bonus for that. Kevin Keegan indeed got his toe stuck in the tap. I thought it only happened in comics, but it's actually true. So at the end of that round, Gary's team have 3 and David's team have 4. Another new round now, entitled What's Going On? We show the teams a clip of a bizarre sports-related action. They have to explain what exactly is happening. So, David, Lee and Ian, it's athletics for you, and we're going to show you some American TV footage of the Atlanta Olympics. World record holder Michael Johnson is in lane 3 with a giant insect in lane 2.
Johnson's got a good start. Kamoga's going well in 5. Thomas in lane 2, but the cockroach takes it on the line from Johnson.
So, American television viewers saw that race. What was going on?
Is it Rory doing a sponsored run? He dressed up as a giant cockroach to raise money.
Wouldn't have to dress up.
I think it's the Chinese athletes, isn't it? They've gone too far this time with the drug taking.
The thing is with that, it got through the qualifying round, so why shouldn't it be there anyway?
Yeah, it beat that millipede, didn't it? There's a millipede entered in the first round, still getting its shoes on.
Hedgehogs are quite good athletes as well. Hedgehogs, but they ban them because as soon as they show them a pair of spikes, they try and shag it. Do you know if there's a nuclear war, cockroaches be the only things that survive? That and people from Birmingham. I'm just remembering as well, I'm doing a gig in Birmingham, I'm dead.
It's all right, you'd have died anyway.
I reckon what they're trying to say there is Michael Johnson is the fastest man around, I suppose, and they're saying that if a cockroach was the size of Michael Johnson, it could beat him for speed over 400 metres. That's what I reckon.
I'm going to have to give you 3 points for that.
I'd just like to say as well that if a cockroach was that big, I'd run faster than Michael Johnson.
That's right, on a desperately slow news day, they mocked up a race between the world's fastest insect and the world's fastest man, and scaled up the cockroach won easily, in just over 2 seconds, although it was a bit of a bugger getting a urine sample from it. Incidentally, just for information, the British cockroach came 7th and dropped the baton. So, Gary, your team. Gary, Rory and Gordon, it's boxing for you, or is it?
Tyson keeping his hands up, looking for the openings. Swinging hooks for Tyson. A nice little left, right uppercut for Tyson. Again, 3 right uppercuts, and Frank's hurt against the ropes. Mills Lane comes in. The first standing 8 count. Mills in. Mills Lane takes the gumshoe out of Frank Bruno.
That's the latest from live TV. Topless boxing.
It'll never catch on.
No,
never catch on.
The interesting thing about a cockroach is it hears through its legs. Do you know that? If you get a cockroach and pull all its legs off and say, run, it won't move. 3 weeks ago, doctors say that Frank Bruno can't fight. We've known that for years, haven't we? What's the real answer then, Gordy?
Well, I think the real answer is that live TV, as you can see in the corner of things, it was live TV, they couldn't get the pictures from the Bruno Tyson fight, so they said they were going to bring it live, and they did. There was, I think there was a guy on his phone at the fight, shouting out, commentating what was going on, and they got 2 lookalikes, although not particularly good lookalikes, to enact in the ring.
Absolutely correct. 3 points. Well done. That's right, it's live TV's rather sad version of the Bruno Tyson fight, in which 2 much cheaper boxers fought in a London basement. Mike Tyson was recently reported to have been paid £20 million for 8 minutes' work. Apparently, he's in a crisp advert. So, at the end of that round, Gary's team have 6 and David's team have 7. For our next round, we enter the desperate world of the photo opportunity. We'll show each team a publicity shot, and they simply have to say what the reason behind the picture was. Gary's team, here's your shot. That's right, it's Sharon Davis, but what was the reason for this photo?
No, that's Sharon Davis being photographed with 2 new gladiators, cheese straw and shortbread finger. Isn't it?
Is it the launch of Tampax's least successful product? They are chips, are they chips?
They are.
Is that what they're supposed to be?
They look like
Chips?
something silly like
National
Is it
Chip
National Chip Day or National Potato Day?
I'll have to give you that. I'll give you points for that, yeah.
Excellent.
It was, of course, National Chip Week. They were also looking for an athlete to do National Jumbo Savoy Week, but Fatima wasn't available.
What's actually interesting is we were actually asked before the show to try and sort of tone it down a bit after the complaints from the last series, weren't we, Nick?
I wasn't. What said that? Next week's show will be presented by John Watson. David's team now. Here's your photo. Butch Wilkins in a mask. Not a bad idea. But why?
After National Chip Week, was this something to do with sort of National Liver Week or something?
National Liver and Chianti Week.
Is it what he wears to sign on?
I think it looks a bit like, you know, say that. I think it looks a bit like someone who's gone on holiday, and when they were on holiday, they had a beard, but then they've come home and shaved it off.
Is it because Sir Anthony Hopkins was unavailable for the premiere and that he was the next best lookalike and that was it?
I'm going to give you 1 point for the very obvious reason that it's because some photographer thought that Ray Wilkins looked and indeed behaved a bit like Hannibal Lecter who took this photograph. And something else we have to clear up, Ray Wilkins was nicknamed the Crab because he always passed the ball sideways, and not, as has been claimed, because he was often found in men's underpants. Just to clear that up. QPR, of course, play at Loftus Road, which is just 100 yards from this studio, and it's so close that sometimes you can actually hear the gales of laughter coming across from their ground. So at the end of that round, David's team have 8 and Gary's team have 9. It's hands-on time now as the teams fondle the fit and play Feel the Sportsman. Gary and Rory, if you'd like to assume the position. Our regulars are blindfolded and then in 90 seconds attempt to identify a sporting personality by touch alone.
Any Spurs fans in tonight? Wasn't 61 a good year? Dear, oh dear.
OK, can we have our first mystery guest, please? OK, you have 90 seconds and may God be with you, mystery personality.
Judging by your reaction, that was what I think it might have been.
What have we got here? I know. What's something down here? Is it Linford?
Hold on, you're just encouraging them, aren't you?
Any closer to it? What are you doing? Oh,
it's a Scotsman. Oh, God. What's that? What is it?
I'll give you a clue.
Hockey.
It's a hockey.
Yeah,
It's,
and she
I
scored
know.
more goals for England than you, Gary.
James Sixsmith.
Actually correct, well done. Incidentally, Jane, if you want to make a formal complaint, the nearest police station is Shepherd's Bush. Right, David and Liam, yeah, right, pop over there.
That saved me getting a video out this week.
Okay, and can we have our next mystery guest, please? Okay, your 90 seconds start now.
Hang on. Is it? Hang on, it's one of those windscreen washers with the traffic lights. I don't even drink.
It's my, can't hang on.
Hang on.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
I mean, I'm assuming that because the champagne's flowing like that, it's Jimmy Greaves. Is it
I'll give you a clue, we were going to get Damon Hill, but
driver?
he was too expensive, so we sacked him.
So it's a motor racing driver?
Maybe.
Oh, yes, it might be. They're quite short, aren't they, really? Those cars are probably only that big.
Okay, so.
Is it Willie Carston?
Well, because he's got the word car in his name.
You want to get a helmet, it's quite dangerous, you know.
Hang on, he spoke.
5
Should
seconds.
be a clue.
Ask him. Just
Should be a clue.
5 seconds.
One that speaks. I'm going to.
One that speaks. Okay, that's your time up. Have a look. Oh! What's Johnny Herbert? No, really. So at the end of that round, David's team have 8 and Gary's team have 12. So it's final round time, and that means the name game. This week, the clues must be in the form of impressions of the person on the card. You have to do an actual impression, OK, of the sports woman or man without mentioning the sport that they're involved in, OK? So Gary's team are in the lead. Ridiculous. You pass it over to Rory. Don't.
I wasn't looking at it.
And Rory, your 90 seconds start now.
You can't sack me out.
Ball.
I thought the referee had a good game and he played 25 minutes of injury time.
Kenny Dalglish. Alex Ferguson.
For me, there's only one lad on the park. It's that lad Lineacre. He's
Mike Shannon.
Yeah. I've got a little bag with balls in it, and the away team is going to be drawn by
Graham Kelly.
Oh, I say, I'm dead.
Dan Master.
Yeah.
Dan Master.
Oh, I wish I could pull my shirt over my head and run around like
Ravanelli.
In my day, I was the only. Yeah.
Let's go south side. It's Canal Turn. It's very fast.
Well, it was in Scribes West, and I said to Gareth.
Terry Venables.
Yeah. Oh. She's been mentioned tonight. I put my hand in my pocket and there was soil there.
Well done. OK, you moved up to 22, which means you need 14 to draw level. Lee?
He said, I've got to go home to the wife, smothered in champagne. I've been working on it.
90 seconds, Lee. Start now.
I'll commentate with you sometimes.
Jeffrey Boycott.
Correct. Yeah. Splash it on all over. Splash it on all over.
Henry Cooper.
Yeah. Hi, honey, I'm home. He says, I did not murder my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. Bit like me, but you know, used to go like that.
Probably told you.
That's not an impression.
I am not a fighter. I'm a talent. Well, you know, I was running the 100 metres tonight and I was doing quite well and I was going down the thing and like fast, you know.
Lincoln, right?
Correct, yeah, that'd do.
Okay,
and,
didn't know spoke like that.
Oh, injured.
Jürgen Klinsmann.
Hello, morning everybody. Welcome to the cricket. We've got some.
Richie Bennett.
Well done, Ian. Well done. I'm going to put the lads out on the park today. Anybody got any spare change?
Why are you doing Sean Connery again?
Because I can. Excellent. Manages his team.
Oh, George Ryan.
Correct. And let's go over to the snooker. Let's go to the snooker. Honestly, we won't burn the stadium down. Lock the doors, they're surrounding us.
There are a number of points I could take away from you, but there's no point because you've got thrashed anyway. At least for mentioning the 100 metres for Linford Christie, which wasn't allowed. So at the end of that pulsating game, David's team have 17 and Gary's team are the winners with 22. So thanks to David, Lee and Ian, Gary, Rory and Gordon, we're all off to hire chip costumes and sneak up behind Sharon Davis. I'm Nick Hancock. They think it's all over. It is now.
A classroom so hard it makes Grange Hill look like play school. But Edward James Olmos is going to sort things out in tonight's movie next on BBC One.